Welcome to the HEOR Insights YouTube channel. In this explainer, we will cover the principles and practical steps of creating a robust systematic literature review protocol, including the critical function of PROSPERO registration. This is a foundational skill for any role in health economics and outcomes research.
We will begin with the definition of an SLR protocol, then cover the PICO's framework for structuring the research question. After that, we'll walk through the process of writing the protocol, discuss PROSPERO registration, and conclude with the protocol's practical applications in HEOR.
So, first, what is a systematic literature review protocol? It's essential to understand its role in establishing the rigor of your research from the very beginning.
The SLR protocol is a formal, written plan that you create before starting the review itself. It's the blueprint that explicitly states your rationale, your objectives, and every methodological step you intend to take. An integral part of this process is PROSPERO. It's an open access database where protocols are registered prospectively, meaning before the work begins. This registration is a standard requirement in HEOR. Its main purpose is to prevent unnecessary duplication of research and to reduce reporting bias by making the original plan publicly available for comparison against the final report. A protocol serves three critical functions. First, it establishes methodological rigor, as it forces you to think through and plan for challenges in advance. Second, it mitigates bias. By defining all your criteria a priori or beforehand, you prevent the cherry-picking of studies that might support a desired conclusion. And third, it ensures regulatory compliance, as protocols are a firm requirement for HTA bodies and high-impact journals. Now we'll turn to the PICO's framework. This is the standard structure used to operationalize a research question and ensure it is precise, focused, and answerable.
PICOS stands for Population, Intervention, Comparator, Outcomes, and Study Design. Using the HEOR example here, the population is patients with type 2 diabetes. The intervention being evaluated is SGLT2 inhibitors. This is compared to DPP4 inhibitors. The measured outcomes include clinical endpoints like HbA1c, economic measures like the ICER, and patient-reported outcomes. Finally, the admissible study designs are limited to RCTs and observational studies.
With a clearly defined PICO's question, the next step is to write the protocol document itself. We will now review the key sections of a robust protocol.
The accepted standard for protocol reporting is the PRISMA-P checklist. Adhering to this checklist ensures that your protocol is complete, transparent, and meets international best practices for reporting.
Developing the protocol follows a logical sequence. You start by defining the rationale and clear objectives. Then, you design a search strategy that is fully reproducible. From there, you set explicit eligibility criteria, plan the process for study selection and data extraction, and finally, specify how you will assess study quality and synthesize the data.
Even the title of your protocol requires precision. A title like Review of Diabetes Drugs is far too vague. A good title, in contrast, is descriptive. It clearly communicates the review type, the PICO's elements, and the specific endpoints of interest, such as clinical efficacy and cost-effectiveness.
The search strategy is a core component. It must be detailed enough for another researcher to replicate it exactly. This means specifying the databases, like Medline and Embase, the full search strings, including mesh terms and keywords, and the use of Boolean operators. It must also include a plan to search gray literature, such as ISPOR conference proceedings, which is often a source of the most current data.
Let's now focus on the procedural details of PROSPERO registration and the mandatory step of quality assessment.
The timing of registration is critical. The protocol must be finalized and registered on PROSPERO before the formal screening or data extraction begins. Registration after these stages have started invalidates the prospective nature of the protocol and defeats its purpose of preventing bias.
Your protocol must also pre-specify which validated tools you will use to assess the risk of bias or quality of the included studies. The choice of tool is dictated by the study design. For example, you might use the Cochrane Robe 2 tool for RCTs, the Newcastle-Ottawa scale for observational studies, and a specialized checklist like CHECK for economic evaluations.
Finally, let's connect the protocol to its direct applications in key HEOR and market access activities. One of the primary applications of a systematic review is to populate economic models. A protocolized SLR provides a transparent and defensible method for identifying the clinical inputs,
costs, and utility values that are fundamental to any cost-effectiveness analysis.
Global value dossiers also depend heavily on SLRs. The evidence gathered systematically is used to build the core value story and substantiate claims about a product's comparative efficacy, safety, and overall value.
For HTA submissions, a robust SLR with a registered protocol is non-negotiable. HTA bodies like NICE or CAT8 scrutinize the methodology, and any unjustified deviation from the registered protocol can lead to the rejection of your evidence.
To ensure your protocol stands up to scrutiny, it's important to be aware of the most common pitfalls that can compromise its quality.
4 common pitfalls to avoid are vague search limits, which can lead to missed evidence; outcome switching, where the reported outcomes differ from those planned in the protocol, which is a major form of reporting bias; ignoring quality assessment, which means you may draw conclusions from unreliable studies; and finally, scope creep, where the research question becomes too broad, making the review unmanageable and unfocused.
In conclusion, the SLR protocol is not simply an administrative task. It is the scientific contract that underpins the entire review, guaranteeing the integrity and objectivity of the evidence synthesis. A well-developed protocol is the foundation of credible and impactful work in HOER.